I'm Amy Kroom, and welcome back to Independent Thinking Executive Insights. I am here with the folks from Energy Star and the nationwide team. We have Frank Sandtner, and then, of course, we have one of our members, Mark Shirin from Ventura TV. How y'all doing today?
Great.
Good.
Great to be here. It's exciting.
It is, and it is Energy Star Day, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, I think, Frank.
We
Tell
sure
us,
are.
Yeah, what is going on with Energy Star?
Well, we knew that we won the Partner of the Year for Sustained Excellence for 2023. We knew that several weeks ago.
Yeah.
And there's a communications embargo that actually lifted this morning.
Today.
This morning at 9 a.m. Central Time, we were able to announce to the world that we won for the 9th consecutive year Partner of the Year for Sustained Excellence, which is very exciting. And we thank all of our retailers for the work that they did to make that possible. But we also found out that 5 of our manufacturing partners here at the show also won. So we were able to get that list as soon as it was available to us this morning, and we created plaques for each one of those 5 manufacturers. So basically Beko, Bosch, Electrolux, LG, and Samsung were also winners. And so we couldn't win if it wasn't for them. They're the ones that manufacture the products that are energy efficient. We wanted to recognize the value of our partnership with them and just thank them for the work that they're doing in helping create a sustainable future.
Yeah, that is amazing. And we are so glad to hear that. And speaking of Energy Star products, Mark, I know that Ventura TV is one of the largest purchasers of Energy Star certified products. So tell us a little bit about that. What's your secret to success?
Well, actually, we have latched upon a niche part of the Energy Star program, and that is servicing the low-income areas of California. We're in Central California, and we work with our utility, who happens to be PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric Company. And for the last almost 20 years, we have been their supplier of appliances.
Oh.
And basically, it's a state program funded by the state of California, managed by the California Public Utilities Commission, and administered through the utility, which is PG&E.
Yeah.
And so we've delivered thousands of Energy Star refrigerators to low-income families, and basically the idea is to provide them with a very energy efficient product, so there's less kilowatt hours on the grid, and then we take those products off the grid. They're old products, and we have them recycled, so they don't get sent to Mexico or don't get sent to resellers that might sell it on the used market. So that's kind of our niche in the whole energy. Plus, we have a full scale retail operation. We promote that in our stores, Energy Star.
Well, it sounds like you have the Utility Commission in California pretty much locked up.
Andrew McAllister loves you, right?
Yeah. What about for retailers who are in other states? Are there similar sales for utilities opportunities available?
I think Frank might be able to answer that question. I know that there are other programs in other states. Frank, can you address that?
Sure, absolutely. The low-income situation that Mark's talking about does exist in many other states. Now, it doesn't operate at the same scale as California. California has a very, long-running and basically all the people that are ratepayers, a certain amount of their bill goes towards funding these appliances for low-income individuals. It's an extraordinary program. It's got tremendous community ties, and I mean, we really applaud everything Mark's done there. It's wonderful. So
I think maybe the question is how can other dealers in other states get into this?
Yeah.
So
Agreed,
really,
yeah.
within every state is to find out through either the state energy office or the energy commission within the state, or even go to their website and see if there is such a program. So I know in the state of California, it's called the Energy Savings Assistance Program, the ESA program.
Okay.
If you go to the website, the California state websites, or CEC, California Energy Commission website, you'll find it right on there. So there isn't a list that we could just produce
Yeah.
because these programs change all the time.
But we do encourage our retailers to check out their local energy utilities commissions to see if there is a similar type program available for them.
Now, outside of the low income scenarios, there are other incentives. So many states have programs that incentivize through trailing credits or instant savings the purchase of certain products.
Yeah.
Right? So they're all going to be Energy Star certified products, and we have programs right now in Nevada, in Oregon, we have a program in Michigan, so we have some programs in Maryland.
Oh,
So
great.
various states, it's not just California that has these, and they all look a little bit different, but rest assured, Nationwide is on top of knowing, understanding, and being able to launch these programs for the benefit of our members.
Well, speaking of being on top of what's going on, we've been hearing a lot lately about the Inflation Reduction Act. And I know this is something that you've been diving deeply into, Frank. So tell us a little bit more. What is the link between the Inflation Reduction Act and Energy Star?
Well, that's a great question. The Inflation Reduction Act, which is a gigantic piece of legislation that passed in August of last year, is going to deliver about $369 billion to consumers.
Wow.
Okay? So it's all going to be through either federal tax credits, through state incentives, and the state incentives are usually income calibrated. So if you have lower income, you're going to get a higher incentive.
Okay.
For all the products where this applies, so basically the money is funded by somebody buying a product.
Okay.
The product is going to be an Energy Star certified product in all cases. So this it's not just appliances, it's well beyond appliances.
Yeah.
The areas that are the most, where the greatest savings potential is where the most money is, the most rebates.
Yeah.
And where that happens to be is generally something that has a heat pump tied to it.
Okay.
So across the federal and state programs, there are tremendous incentives for heat pump water heaters, heat pump dryers, and heat pump HVAC systems. Those three produce the greatest savings of anything that you can do today, and that's why the government is so focused on those incentives. So the tie-in is Energy Star, those are the products that qualify for the program.
So is that why we have a water heater here in our booth?
I didn't think you'd notice. Yes, that is exactly why we have a heat pump water heater next to us. And this unit, which is a 50-gallon Reliance water heater, it's a heat pump water heater, the expected annual energy cost is $120. Okay. I just happen to have in my home a 50-gallon electric water heater. So it's the same size as this.
Yeah.
It's actually made by the same manufacturer.
Really?
And my energy label, I actually took a picture of it, is $550. So if I could, instead of paying $555 a year to run hot water, I'm going to pay $120.
Yeah.
The savings are amazing. And the reason that the savings are amazing because the kilowatt hours consumed on this thing are significantly less.
Yeah.
The way it works is that instead of having heating elements in the tank using electricity, so you're now heating the tank with these heating elements, instead what you do is you have a compressor right in this top portion here, and an evaporator. Air, just outside air, goes into this vent right here.
Yeah.
It pulls the hot air out of the air.
Okay.
And goes through basically a refrigerant and pushes that heat into the water to heat the water. And then cool air comes out of this side.
Oh,
So it's
my
basically
goodness.
like your refrigerator in reverse.
Yeah.
A refrigerator takes air, pulls the cold out of the air, cools the refrigerator, and pushes out warm air.
Yeah.
This pushes out cold air. So this technology is not something that, oh my gosh, is this going to break? This technology is tried, true, tested on many, many other products. This comes with a 10-year warranty, and Reliance is not afraid to put a 10-year warranty on it because this is not going to fail.
Wow. That's amazing.
It is amazing. You agree?
I agree, and I just
got
wanted
some interest in this category.
I just wanted to point out that in the case of California, I'm sure it's the case in other states, they've changed the metric for these programs. There's many programs out there for energy savings, and now they're focusing, to piggyback on what Frank said, on kilowatt hour savings. So every measure is scrutinized to get the maximum energy kilowatt savings, and heat pump water heaters are definitely one of those. Also, refrigerators are in a category close to heat pump water heaters in terms of kilowatt energy savings.
And aren't you? You've got some aspirations yourself in the heat pump water heater category, don't you?
Well, actually, funny you asked, Frank. We just got awarded a contract with another utility in California called Southern California Edison. And we are the regional distributor for major appliances for the south part of the state. So basically, Los Angeles and all the surrounding counties to the Mexico border. And among the products that we're going to be supplying to Edison's ESA program is heat pump water heaters, which is a new category for us.
Yeah.
And we're excited about it, and because of its potential. And I think that the state of California is sooner or later will probably mandate heat pump water heaters on all new construction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And to kind of give you a sense, like some of the most advanced states are Oregon and Washington. And Washington was the first state to make it where new residential construction requires a heat pump water heater. You can't do gas, you can't do regular electric, it's got to be one of these. Oregon is going to be close behind them to do the same thing. So you could see where this is going.
Yeah.
These are going to become the dominant market share of water heaters. It's going to take 10 to 15 years, but this is where it's going. So for our retailers, you got to get behind something at the beginning.
Right.
And now is the beginning.
And I'm guessing that these are eligible under the Inflation Reduction Act as well, correct?
These are eligible at the federal level with a higher cap than most everything else. So the cap is 30% tax credit up to $2,000,
Okay.
which is higher than most things. And then on the state level, this qualifies under both. There's two acts. There's HERA and Homes. It qualifies under both of those.
Okay.
It actually has, like, for a low-income person using HERA, which is one of the state Inflation Reduction Act portions, the incentive is up to $1,750.
Wow.
Well, this unit doesn't cost $1,750. It's less than that. So you can
actually
imagine.
make money.
Well, there's an installation portion beyond
Yeah.
that, so you wouldn't end up making money. But with the energy savings, you would end up being in a situation where it would pay for itself in less than 2 years.
Yeah. So what are we doing to prepare our members to start taking advantage of heat pump water heaters and other products that are available under the Inflation Reduction Act?
Well, the first thing we did is we went ahead and learned everything we could about the Inflation Reduction Act because it's very complicated.
Yeah.
We also, some of it's rolled out, some's not going to roll out till later on.
Okay.
So we understand this fully. We did 2 Nationwide Learning Academy sessions here at Prime Time to help people think about looking further out in the future. Like, this is not something you do today. The Inflation Reduction Act will last between 10 and 12 years.
Yeah.
It runs out that far. So think about the categories that you may be able to get into or partner with somebody else or buy a company that is in the businesses, because there's going to be a lot of growth in these spaces, and we want to make sure our members can take advantage of it. The other thing is that we, for the first time ever, we got into the water heating category.
Yeah.
We have a program with Reliance for
Excellent.
our members to come and sign up to take advantage of, and we actually have a fair amount of expertise here within our own staff on how these heat pump water heaters work.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So, Mark, are there any other incentive programs that are available? I know that you talked a little bit about, recycling appliances to kind of get them off the grid. Are there any other incentive programs that are available?
I think that's an area that's lacking right now.
Yeah.
Because in earlier times, there were incentives to get old refrigerators off the grid.
Okay.
And you could call a company and they'd pick up the refrigerator and then send you a check for $100 to get your old unit off the market. And then PG&E, the utility, had programs on dishwashers,
Mhm.
and they had deals on refrigerators.
Oh, okay.
You know, $50 and $100 rebates. Those don't exist anymore. So I think the ripest category or the best place to look for rebates is through the water department, the various municipalities. In our market, for example, if you buy a Energy Star, and it all has to do with Energy Star.
Of course,
you
yeah.
got to have an Energy Star product in order to qualify. In our market, Energy Star washers, if they're the highest tier, qualify for $100. Okay, in the Bay Area of San Francisco and San Francisco Bay Area, it's up to $300.
Oh, wow.
And there's some private, water associations in smaller cities where I've seen as much as $300 on a dishwasher, which you could buy a dishwasher less than $300
Yeah.
actually. So those kind of programs exist. We've been keen about searching them out and promoting them on the retail floor. Most big box companies don't do that, even though they may be in an area that is covered by one of these incentive programs. They don't. They're typically ignorant of those
Yeah.
type of things. So, smart retailers like Nationwide dealers typically learn about these programs and they promote it with POP on the sales floor, and the salespeople are well versed.
Yeah, it's a great way to differentiate yourself in the market and not only help drive sales at your store, but also help your customers save money and also help save energy.
Absolutely, and that's the motivator. You know, there's several motivators for people buying Energy Star. One is the pride of knowing that they've got the newest and the latest product, and another motivator is people that are concerned about the environment and want to reduce greenhouse gases and so forth.
Yeah.
And then the third motivator is saving money on their monthly power bills.
Yeah.
You know, did I miss anything, Frank?
No, you hit it, man. That's the 1, 2, 3 punch.
All
You
right.
can't go wrong.
Well, wonderful. Mark Shirin, Frank Sandtner, thank you very much for joining me today. I do appreciate it.
It's always a pleasure. Thanks so much.
It
It was
is.
a pleasure to be with you guys.
Thank you. And thank you for joining us here on Executive Insights. We will be back very soon with lots more great content.